summer 2023 has been the most challenging summers I've ever had, because I don't think I've ever taken a summer class that has taken up so much time. Not only do I have to be present for a lecture, but I also have to accumulate the 120 hours in 10 weeks, meaning that I have to go to clinical at least twice a week, in addition to working full-time. I work full-time, and then I also pick up PRN in the hospital. And I know a lot of you are probably like, that is doing too much. We're going to school full-time, you're working full-time, and you're still PRN. Oh, and let's not forget, I'm also a mother. Also a mother. One of the reasons why I stay PRN in the hospital is because I have this fear in me that if I leave the bedside and stop taking care of patients that are acutely ill or critically ill, that I'm going to lose my nursing skills. And I am. In order to stay current at the bedside, you have to practice on a regular basis. You can't just leave the bedside and be like, okay, I'll go back one day and I'll be fully equipped with everything and ready to care for patients. More than likely, you'll have to be retrained. And I don't ever want to go through that. So that is one of the reasons why I stay PRN at the bedside. Another reason is because I have a master's degree in nursing education and I have taught clinical instruction for 9 years. I'm also getting the itch to start back teaching again. So I need to stay current at the bedside. When a nurse leaves the bedside completely, even for a year, and then she or he reapplies to work again at the bedside, if you've been gone for a certain period of time, especially a year and over, they treat you like a new nurse all over. Vlogging is not easy at all. I came out the shower, got dressed. I even started doing my face and I was like, oh shucks, I was supposed to turn the camera on and I forgot. So we're late in the game. I'm pretty much done. All I used was my Fenty skin tint. I think I showed you all this before. It's in the color number 21. This is an amazing product. And I put a little bit of blush on, Makeup by Mario, and this one is in Soft Coral. And mascara. I use mascara from Too Faced, and it is the Better Than Sex mascara. I'm taking my head tie off, but I think I'm going to put it back on and wear it all the way to clinical, because I didn't put any gel in my hair for the past 2 evenings. So it's just been laying flat by the grace of God. And this head tie, outside is humid as heck. So I'm going to keep the head tie on, that way my hair does not go crazy before I get to clinical. And then I'll be going straight from the car into the air condition, so I'm going to be good. There was some traffic on the road, so I'm a little bit behind. I wanted to get here before 10. It is 10:07. Let's go be a nurse practitioner student. The doctor isn't in yet, so I'm just gonna review the charts of the patients that's coming in today, just so I can have an idea of their history and just exactly their reasons for the visit. It is 6:10 p.m. and I just left the clinical site. The doctor, however, says that he'll be there until 9 o'clock. I think he has a patient coming to see him at 7 p.m. I'm like, what are you doing there until 9 o'clock? But you know what I learned? It's his business and he loves what he does for a living. And they always say that when it's your business and you're doing what you love, it never seems like work. See, this is a perfect example of how friends can be a bad influence. Because for what reason would I be in Columbia Mall this time of the evening? Big Friday evening. Big Friday evening. I telling the people that's why friends are a bad influence. All right. What we doing here? You just vlogging. Sis, I gotta capture the content.
Don't capture me.
I ain't capturing you, sis.
He always got that damn hot question head, yo.
Yeah, Miki, why you got the hat on? Yo,
Like you wildin'.
Why you?
Like COVID been over, sis. You wildin'. Of course, now we're in Sephora looking for a gift. One of our friends is having a birthday party tomorrow, and actually, I just dropped off a cake at her house because I told her I was going to get her birthday cake. Can I tell y'all this palette right here? Well, all of these palettes. It's my dream. But look at the price. $128. Pat, no, give us a break. It's 9:52 p.m. I just got in the house. I did do some grocery shopping when I left clinical, and then I purchased a cake, which I told you guys about earlier. I dropped it off for my friend Nicole, who's celebrating her birthday tomorrow. Now I have to unpack all of my groceries and attempt to make dinner for tomorrow, lunch and dinner, because I work Saturday, Sunday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. Okay, y'all, I made it through the 12-hour shift. I just left the building and I am headed to the birthday cookout for my friend. And of course, now that I work full-time, whenever I have to go to events that is happening on a day that I work, 99% of the times I'm showing up in my scrubs, because what am I supposed to do? Go home and change? That's not convenient. And also, like, some people will bring their clothes to work and change, but after working a whole 12-hour shift, I want to feel right just putting on my good clothes and going to the event.
Nurse in the hospital.
Happy Monday, good people. The last time I checked in with you all was when I was headed to Nicole's party. I vlogged a little bit, not too much, because I didn't want to have my camera in people's faces. People are usually leery of like the camera, and they're always thinking like you're recording them to do something with it. So I'm pretty like leery of doing that. I don't do too much. It is approximately, I think, 8:30 a.m. I was up a little bit early, got myself together. I'm tired, so I'm not going to be doing any makeup today. I just applied my face moisturizer, and the one that I'm using is from Kiehl's, one of my favorite brands. I've been using Kiehl's products since, who knows, God, like maybe 16 years ago I started using it. The only thing I'm going to put on is some lipstick. I'm not putting on any tinted moisturizer, none of that. Like, no foundation, not even mascara I'm putting on today because I'm tired. I haven't had a day off yet. I've been going for the past 5 days. Today is my day off, but I have to go in and finish accumulating clinical hours. A friend of mine had purchased this for me a couple years ago, and I've really used it. I did a YouTube video on it earlier on in my YouTube days when I started doing YouTube content. I wanted to do beauty content, but the people was not feeling it. So I'm probably just going to pick one of these colors and put it on today. The other thing that's happening is that it is raining. It is pouring outside, and I don't own an umbrella. Every time I get an umbrella, it gets lost, it gets misplaced. My daughter takes it, it's somewhere in her car. So I don't even know how I'm gonna make it to my car. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this head tie on, and I'm gonna do it the old school way that I know best, which is plop. I'm putting a plastic bag on my head this morning. I don't care.
Y'all, but I'm back in Brooklyn again. I'm here just for the day. I came so I can go with my mom to her ophthalmologist appointment, because a lot of times she goes to the doctor and I ask her for a report and she can't tell me anything worthwhile. So I'm like, I'm coming with you to this appointment. So it's about 10:30 in the morning. I just got here not too long ago. 1, 2. Doctor's appointment, currently at Footprints, having lunch because I am hungry. Let's see what I'm going to pick from the menu. And y'all, it is pouring. I don't even know how I'm going to drive back home in this rain. I don't like driving in rain. The weather is terrible.
It's Thursday. I know you guys are probably like, girl, the last time we saw you, you were in Brooklyn eating at a Jamaican restaurant. And that was the last time you guys saw me. I left New York that day, came back to Baltimore later on in the night, got home like 10 o'clock. Yesterday was Wednesday, I had to work, and today again is Thursday, I have to work. Tomorrow is Friday. I have to do my ICU competencies in the morning, which I'm still hesitant on doing because I don't know if I still want to work in the ICU as a nurse. Like, the more I've been out of that setting and the more that I'm thinking about my future and things that I want to do once I am finished nurse practitioner school, it does not involve critical care. And I know that no experience is wasted experience, but what am I going there for once a week to stress myself out, to break my back? Like, my body already aches from working on the floor so many years. I'm considering, do I even still want to pursue this? And the thing is, we always have some kind of training to keep up with. They have to ensure that we are competent doing certain procedures, managing certain kind of patients. And some of those patients I won't even manage because guess what? I'm not there often enough for them to assign me patients that are super, super sick. Like, I'm talking about a fresh craniotomy, a fresh stroke, patients with EVDs. Like, I'm not there all the time for y'all to even try to give me somebody that has all of that going on. But yet still I have to show up for competency. And the thing is, a lot of those kind of patients, the ones that are super sick and have all those things going on, I don't want to do that no more. I always tell people, don't give me that patient. Give that to them young girls because I just don't have it in me. Like, the running up and down, the having to go to MRI, the constantly having to like do this kind of check, these kind of assessments. Like, I'm no longer interested in that. So I'm still contemplating whether or not I am even going to show up. I do not show, well, I mean, I'll cancel. I'll tell them I'm no longer interested, and I'll just have to let the manager know that I don't think I want to pick up shifts in an ICU anymore. Because right now I'm just focused on what's going to be valuable for my future. And you know, you never know what can happen. Like, you know, I never want to stop working at the bedside fully. Like, I will always pick up a shift at the bedside. But right now, I'm okay with just being put on med-surg. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, my days for trying to be like, oh, I'm in the ICU and this and that, and we take care of the sickest patients and all that stuff. I'm done with that part of my life. I was like, leave that for them young girls, you know, the ones that want to go to CRNA school. I'm done with that. Like, I have no interest, so I have to figure that out. I have, I think, 2.5 or 3 more weeks left for school. I have a ton of work to do. I will be off on Saturday, and I'm waking up early. I'm leaving this place, and I'm going to sit either in a cafe until it gets too loud and until the local library opens and get my work done. Because, yeah, I'm ready for this podcast. What's so funny is that I was reading through the comments the other day, and someone wrote that whenever ICU nurses get floated to telemetry or step down or to a unit where the patient to nurse ratio increases, they be drowning. Like, they don't know what to do. And I've seen that happen in my career. Like, I remember one time I was working in med-surg as a nurse, and the manager had left and took some of the nurses with her to her new hospital. And so we didn't have a lot of ventilator nurses to care for the vent patients. So they had to float ICU nurses up to the unit where the ventilators were. When I tell you the ICU nurses was confused. And I think it was from seeing that experience, like having that experience made me realize that I don't want to have to get floated to someone's floor and be flustered. Like, I never want to be put in a situation where I'm asked to go to med-surg, or I'm asked to go to telemetry, and I have a whole panic attack about it, which is one of the reasons why in the float pool, if I sign up for the ICU and ICU is fully staffed and they don't need me, the staffing coordinators previously would cancel me. And I had to call them and say, let me tell y'all something right now. I am a nurse. I can hang, okay? I ran all of these floors as a tech. I ran all of these med-surg floors as a nurse, because when I first became a nurse, I was working on every single unit picking up overtime. That was the new nurse hustle. So whenever they try to cancel me and say, well, ICU no longer needs you because they have enough people, I'm like, what about med-surg? Y'all know med-surg is always short. Put me on med-surg, all right? I'm that nurse that, listen, it is not about the specialty for me anymore. It is about my dollars. And I need my check. So please, I'll come in and I'll do that shift. So now they know that Kendra can work med-surg. So what happens now is that whenever I sign up for a shift, let's just say ICU needs only 2 of the float pool nurses, but med-surg is short, they'll put the other float pool ICU nurses on ICU because they know that those nurses aren't flexible. They'll complain. They don't want to go to med-surg. So a lot of the times now when I go to work, I end up being on med-surg. And I'm not mad about that. I'm not mad about that. The reason why I'm not mad about it is because in my experience, I find that med-surg nurses tend to be nicer. Just a nicer atmosphere. The culture is usually much different than working in the ICU. So I don't mind going, and I don't have patients on monitors. I don't have to travel with the patient. That's one of the biggest things for me. Like, I like the break that I get from med-surg, because if the patient has to go down for a CAT scan or go down for an MRI, I literally sign a piece of paper with my extension number, and transport comes and they take the patient, and that is it for me. See you when you get back. On the ICU, I'll be having to get a monitor. Then if the patient's on a ventilator, I have to coordinate with respiratory. Respiratory might already be booked for another travel or to do another procedure. We can't go at that time, but yet the MRI needs to get done. And it just be a hot mess. So I'm not mad at that at all. And sometimes my coworkers, the ones that work in the ICU, they'll see me, like maybe in the cafeteria or maybe when we're leaving for the day. And they're like, Kendra, you work today? And I was like, yeah. They're like, oh, where were you? I didn't see you on the unit. That's because I didn't work on y'all unit. I did not work in the ICU. I worked on the 3rd floor. I worked on the 6th floor. And they're like, oh my God, you actually go to those places to work? And I'm like, yeah. At the end of the week, when I get paid, the dollar amount does not change based on the unit. The coins are the same. I'm over that part in my life where I'm like, oh, I only want to go in there. I can't work on the floors. Put me in the ICU. But I'm an ICU nurse. I can't take that many patients. That's not me. What y'all giving me, 5 today? 4? I got it. I'm gonna make it happen. That's just how I do it. Anyway, guys, I am going to close this video out right here because I don't even know how long this vlog is going to be. I am headed to work. I don't have my watch on yet, but thank you all for watching. Thank you to my new subscribers. It's 7:12 a.m. and I have to be at work for 8 o'clock. So I am headed out and I'll catch you all in another video.